All right, you brilliant minds betting on will the Memphis Grizzlies win the 2026 NBA Finals, 3 years out? That's not a bet. That's an astrological prediction disguised as financial speculation. Who are these people? The same ones who think their retirement fund is safe when we're all fighting over canned goods in 2025. You're betting on Ja Morant's knees and the survival of organized society. Just burn your money. It's quicker and less embarrassing. January 2026, 50 basis points? These bettors aren't just speculating on interest rates, they're essentially wagering on the precise date and severity of our next economic collapse. You know, the kind of collapse that would make the Fed pull out the industrial-sized rate cut defibrillator. While you're meticulously tracking the upper bound of the target federal funds rate, I'll be over here betting on whether there'll even be a January 2026 or just a radioactive crater. Good luck with your precise monetary policy predictions, suckers! Zelenskyy and Putin meet in Belarus by late 2025. Right. The only meeting I'd bet on involves one of them sending the other a posthumous Christmas card. And you, investors, betting on it. You're just hoping a consensus of credible reporting will confirm which head of state ends up in a box, making you a few quick bucks. Pure class. Lighter airdrop on December 29th. Oh, the sheer poetry of modern finance. We've truly ascended to new heights when the biggest gamble isn't on a stock split or a hostile takeover, but on whether some dev will bless you with swappable digital confetti. Not locked, mind you. Gotta be liquid enough to instantly offload your newfound, probably worthless memecoin onto the next sucker. These aren't investors, folks. These are pigeons scrambling for breadcrumbs, hoping for that one lottery ticket airdrop to save them from, well, from being pigeons. Happy betting, you miserable bastards. Aston Villa on December 30th, 2025? Really? The only thing I'm betting on that far out is whether the global economy has finally shat itself into oblivion, or if we've successfully colonized Mars to escape the coming resource wars. But hey, good on you degenerates for speculating on whether a handful of millionaires will kick a ball into a net in 700 days. Peak financial genius, truly. December 30th, 2025, 2 years out. You're betting on a draw? By then, we'll be sifting through irradiated rubble for scraps. But sure, let's worry about Arsenal's offensive drought. And get this, if the game's cancelled entirely, perhaps by a meteor or perhaps by the final collapse of civilization, it still resolves to yes. So the best way to win this bet is for the world to end. Finally, a financial strategy that makes sense. All right, strap in, you degenerates, because nothing says 21st century finance like betting on whether the US and Venezuela will actually get it on by December 2025. And look at these rules. We're not talking a little fender bender. We need holes in the hull, kinetic strikes on land territory, intercepted missiles. That's just foreplay, folks. Doesn't even count for your yes payout. These guys are out here hoping for actual human tragedy, meticulously defined by geopolitical lawyers, just to make a quick buck on their crypto wallets. Forget market fundamentals. The real money's in weaponized bureaucracy. What a time to be alive. Or, blown up. Look at these geniuses, betting on Bitcoin's arbitrary dance with gravity at precisely noon on Binance. It's like watching toddlers play with nitroglycerin, only they've bet their grandmother's dentures on it. May your tears water my future yacht. Alright folks, the Maduro out in 2025 market. Nothing says I'm a serious geopolitical analyst quite like betting your last stablecoin on whether a dictator gets a golden parachute or a lead one. You're speculating on a nation's fate based on credible reporting, which in Venezuela is as reliable as my broker's promises. High stakes for them, digital pennies for you. At least someone's profiting from the misery, right? And it sure ain't the Venezuelans. MicroStrategy sells any Bitcoin in 2025. Oh, glorious! A bunch of you poor deluded souls are actually betting on whether Michael Saylor, the digital prophet, will finally admit even messiahs sometimes need to, eat. He'd sooner sell his own vital organs on the black market for more BTC than touch his sacred stack. The only way MSTR liquidates anything is if the margin calls hit harder than a 20-year meth habit. Or if the global economy completely implodes and fiat becomes literal toilet paper. Place your bets, suckers. Just don't be surprised when you're still broke and Saylor's still holding, probably from a bunker. Alright, so the financial titans of our generation are currently debating, with serious capital on the line, whether a straw goat in Sweden will commit ritualistic self-immolation next year. Forget inflation, forget the coming global resource wars, forget the fact that your 401k is probably just thinly veiled confetti. No, we're dissecting gavel goat arson probabilities. The resolution criteria, an official goat social media account confirming the blaze. This isn't just degenerate gambling, it's a testament to humanity's priorities. Frankly, I'd short humanity, and if it doesn't burn, the terrorists have won. Alright folks, gather round for the Intellectual Heavyweight Championship. Will a Minecraft movie be the top grossing film of 2025? Oh, the sheer profundity! While the world burns, economies crumble, and your retirement fund looks like a particularly bad JPEG, we've got real brains dedicating their last spare pennies to this digital block-stacking epic. Because nothing says savvy investor like betting your meager future on whether a live-action video game adaptation can beat out the next Marvel Cinematic Universe cash grab. Honestly, the only thing more depressing than this bet is the fact that some of you actually think yes is a good answer. Go touch some grass, or at least a real stock ticker, for once. Egypt to win in late 2025? Adorable. I assume we're talking about their ongoing game against inflation, or perhaps the Avoiding Regional Meltdown Cup. Because anyone betting on a football match 2 years out in that particular neighborhood has more disposable income than sense. Your best bet is that the game resolves no because the stadium's been repurposed into a UN relief station. Place your bets, you magnificent deluded optimists. All right, folks, gather round for the cutting edge of human civilization, betting on Elon Musk's tweet frequency a year and a half from now. While the world burns, while economies collapse, some absolute titans of intellect are agonizing over whether he'll hit 320 to 339 posts between December 23rd and 30th, 2025. And they've got a dedicated tracker to differentiate main feed replies from regular ones. The only risk I see here is succumbing to existential dread watching these absolute degenerates squander their last few brain cells. Truly a market for the ages. All right, no airdrop in 2025? Oh, the burning question of our generation. While actual wars rage and the climate collapses, we're here, glued to Polymarket, wondering if Lighter will drop some digital shrapnel onto the starving masses. And God help us if it's non-swappable, or an NFT, the sheer audacity. You're literally betting on whether some anonymous team decides to print fake money for you. This isn't investing, it's waiting for Santa. If Santa was a disgruntled dev and his sleigh was a broken ETH chain, pathetic. Alright, you ghouls betting on Kudlow for Fed chair. You're seriously sinking money into predicting the whims of a man who makes policy decisions based on his last McDonald's breakfast and whatever pundit flattered him most. Kudlow, the guy whose economic forecasts have more fantasy than a D&D campaign, and you're tying up capital until 2026? By then, the dollar might be backed by memes, or we'll all be living under AI overlords. But sure, bet on Trump giving his old golfing buddy the keys to the global money printer. Pathetic.